so nice. So if you guys, yeah, I think everyone's muted and we're good to go there. Tonight's going to be really fun. So if you're listening to the recording, this is going to be great because a lot of you have said, hey, this seems like kind of a slower month. So we're going to talk about it. And I never like to say that at the beginning of summer because I don't want to put a self-limiting belief into anyone's head. So I always just wait and see how it plays out because you really just never know. But 5.5 years into the business, and I've realized that, yeah, summer kind of is a little slower. And that's okay. So you're going to hear a little tidbit from me. We're also going to hear from a couple other really amazing gals on the team, just to kind of let you know, like, hey, if your month is a little slower, it's not you. Like, it's not like you're doing anything wrong or like, you should really use a different filter or like anything like that. It's just kind of how summer rolls. So the little piece that I am going to share with you guys is I'm going to share with you a little bit of numbers because here's the thing. I think it's a mindset thing and you got to reframe it. Summer is not bad. Summer's not slow. That's not at all what we're saying here. What we're saying is that summer's great. Fall is even better. So whatever you're doing in the fall or in the summer, it's probably going to be a lot bigger in the fall. So I am telling you what, guys, I'm ready to show up every single day, even if, for example, during January when we're like, oh, the 30 days of healthy living, you probably get 1 million people that are like, yeah, like I'm in, like I want to know more. Maybe I have a post like that now and I don't get quite as much traction because it's a little slower. People have weddings, showers, whatever. So it's going to look just a little bit different, but I'm going to share some numbers with you because I think, I think it kind of puts things into perspective and numbers tell a story. And I think tracking your numbers is like the best because it tells you so much. And so all these numbers are numbers from our team. So these are like our team numbers before we were a region. So June 2019, we did 14,809. Okay. So, not bad, but, it was a little slower for us. That was not something that I would have said was like my best month ever. And then September, we did 20,000. So it definitely went up once summer kind of ended. Okay. So there's that light at the end of the tunnel if you show up every day and you're consistent. I'm not saying that, you got to have your best months ever and everyone has to say yes to you. But honestly, it's one of those things that showing up is enough because I've seen people during the summer take a way huge break and a way too long of a breather. And then it's really tough for them to jump back in the fall because they're like, you're just out of practice. It's just harder. So September, we did 20,000. November, we did 40,438 and qualified for region. So what I'm telling you right now is, okay, so September, we doubled our numbers to November. And again, since this is recorded on the internet, there are no guarantees. Go to earnings.arbonne.com. You guys know that obviously I'm not making any promises here, but like, if I'm being honest, I think you could probably do more than that. Like, percentage wise, I really do. And so I think it's going to be more important to detach yourself from what is happening right now and look at it as, okay, well, if I'm doing this much in June, if I triple this, where will I be? Because if you stick around and you're like, okay, like I'm going to keep showing up, I'm going to keep my doors open, and it might not be the best month I've ever had, but if I can keep pushing, and I know that there's evidence that it's been done before, that teams have tripled their number from June to, November, where would you be around Thanksgiving? So it's more of having that long-term vision of, okay, like here I am right now, but I know I can do more than that. So let's say, this summer you're pulling like 3,000, 4,000, whatever, times it by 3. You're an area manager. Like, you know what I mean? So there's so much that can happen from that. So really that's what I'm going to leave you guys on is just like, also to a little side note, give yourself grace during the summer. Like, I know so many of you are like, I'm on every call, like I don't miss a thing. And I do love that mentality. I really do. I think it's important to be on calls for sure, because you always get a little nugget. And I think it strengthens your identity as someone who's serious. And I think when we feel like we're serious about this business, we act serious, we take action like we mean it, and we get things done. So I do think that's important. However, don't be hard on yourself if you find that you're listening to recordings sometimes because you couldn't be on live. Maybe you had a wedding, maybe you had a shower, maybe it was, Father's Day weekend, maybe you're up north with the family and you never see your cousins. Like, give yourself a break, you guys. Like, I think all of us are like from the north and it's cold all the time and we're just happy to be outside. So give yourself some grace. You're probably not going to be on every single call live, and that's okay. So give yourself a break, do your best. So the last thing I'll leave you on is just that mindset shift of summer is great. fall is going to be even better. So just having that long-term vision. So I'm going to pass it on to Carissa, and she's going to tell you more because she has also had experience working her business in the summer and how that's kind of different. And then we'll just keep passing it to each other.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I have very similar points to Kylie because I experienced this last summer too. As I'm sure, I know some of you guys worked your business last summer, and I'm sure you guys started the summer and you're like, well, I had a good April, May, and then all of a sudden June rolls around, because that's kind of where I'm feeling too. But some things that I personally learned is last summer, I did take a break, you guys. I mean, now that I'm looking back on it, I really didn't work my business as much as I should have. And I kind of kicked myself a little bit for it too, because just like Kylie said, being consistent is key. I personally feel that if I would have kept being consistent, if I would have showed up for occasional calls, if I would have tuned into, some of the lives, or not even the lives, tuned into some of the recordings afterwards, I feel like my business maybe would have shot up more in September versus, yes, it did shoot up more in November, but I feel like beginning of fall there was a lot of momentum that had I stayed consistent through the summer, I think my business would have did a little better in September. So I'm going to share, I don't have exact numbers, but it just kind of sparked my memory, because I did take a peek at where we were at last summer, and I was averaging around, I would say 1,500 to 3,000 throughout my summer months. Wasn't very consistent with reaching back out to people. I honestly, you guys, I don't think I did that at all, which is really bad. I mean, I was pregnant and planning a wedding, so I was very, very busy too. But just thinking about that, if I would have reached back out to some of my preferred clients from last summer, maybe they'd still be with me today, which is kind of a bummer. Like, I can think back to some preferred clients I have from last summer, and I'm like, shoot, they don't order from me anymore, which kind of sucks. Like, my bad. I lost my train of thought, but just staying consistent with that, reaching out to preferred clients. There's always, running your business like that and checking in with them, right? They run out of shampoo and conditioner throughout the summer. They run out of protein. Everyone, I mean, I don't eat as good in the summer. I try to, but people are still having protein shakes. So reach out to them about that, you guys. We have consumable goods, which is a good thing. So reach out to your preferred clients. That's something that I definitely wish I would have done more of last summer. What else do I have? Kylie had mentioned, kind of giving yourself grace. I was feeling a little guilty when I got back home from the cabin on Monday, and I was like, wow, I really didn't work my business a ton this weekend, but I didn't get service. So don't feel guilty about those weekends that you guys are taking to yourself and being with friends and family. Like, I get crap for service at my cabin. There was nothing I could do. Half my messages weren't even sending. So finally I just put my phone away and I'm like, you know what? Family weekend, I need it. So, and that's okay. Tell your upline, let them know, just say, hey, I'm going to be out of town this weekend. I'm probably not going to be around my phone. That is okay. Everyone does it. I had a girl reach back out to me today, and she's like, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you in like a week. I had my bachelorette party last weekend, and life just kind of gets away from people, I feel like, in the summer. So give yourself grace. And like Kylie mentioned too, another key component I feel like is trying to tune in here and there to calls. But again, if you have to watch the recording, don't feel guilty. Right? Like I have a little one, so half the time I am, I put her to sleep, and then I might watch it later that night or in the morning. So just those are kind of my key things. But that's all I got for you. I'm going to pass it to Darian, and she's going to chat with us more about her amazing Facebook group that she has, and she's going to chat with us a little bit more about that.
I'm unmuted. Okay. Hey, everyone. So I'm not naked. I have my swimming suit on. I was at the pool. So I'll probably go back to the pool after this. But yeah, so I think I talked earlier about having a Facebook page just because I was doing so many Facebook, the 48-hour one or the 7-day one. So like all that content it doesn't disappear, but they don't get notifications or anything anymore. So I have people that at the time were interested but didn't want to quite commit. So I added them all to a Facebook group, and that has been pretty successful for me. And that's where I post more. So when I first started, I posted a lot of stuff like on my Instagram story and did polls and stuff like that. And now that I kind of have my little Arbonne community on Facebook, I mean, not everyone's already a preferred client or anything, but they'll order things here and there. So I just kind of use that just to kind of keep in touch with people that I know that are interested. And I said, this is a group where I'll just be sharing healthy living tips and stuff about Arbonne, like stuff about my everyday life. If this isn't your jam, you can remove yourself and I won't be offended. So I'm sure a couple have removed or turned off notification, which is fine with me, but I'm still getting to the people that want to know things. So that's why I say do a Facebook page. And then just staying active over the summer. Like, I know people are busy, and that's fine. So say you do take a week off or a weekend off or anything, but like, just when you are having a fizz, like, just take a picture. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to say anything. Just post on there that, oh, hey, where are my fizz girls at? Or where are my fizz ladies at? Or how do you fizz? Or even just say you're having like a bad day with allergies or something. Just be like, what do you guys do to get control of your allergies? Or like, what's your favorite healthy snack or something like that? And just like staying active, so like they know that you're there and that you know that you're still doing Arbonne and you're still loving it and everything about it. Like Kylie said, just showing up every day and just being excited and just knowing that you're still really in it and you still are here for the products, and like we still stand for our products and everything that we stand for. And yeah, just, I don't know, living your life. Arbonne is a part of your life, and it comes naturally to all of us now. So just posting a picture here and there, I'm sure you'll have an Arbonne product. If not, people I'm sure love to know what's going on too. So that's all I really have. And then I think I'm passing it to Bailey.
Hello, everybody. I hope everyone had a really good day. It's beautiful outside. But I just wanted to jump on and chat a little bit with you guys about kind of staying consistent through the summer, but also kind of keeping your mindset positive during the summertime, because it can be really hard. And you can kind of, at least myself, I get very down on myself when my numbers aren't looking the same as what they do during the like regular year. So I'm such a quote person. So one of my favorite quotes that I always have hanging is, the grass is always greener where you water it, instead of the grass is always greener on the other side. So really, to put that into perspective for me, like in my business, the grass is always greener where you water it. Your business is going to flourish where you spend time on it. And it's so easy in the summer months. Like, so I had my Arbonne business last summer. So just kind of like last summer, it was really easy for me to look at other girls who were doing really, really well in the summer. And I was like, okay, well, they have more time, or they have a kid and they're able to post about this kind of stuff, or okay, they whatever, and make up excuses. And it always seemed like, you know, the grass was always greener on their side. And now looking at the perspective of not making up those excuses and really just, you know, hitting your business as hard as you can in the summer. And like all of the girls have already talked about, giving yourself grace and giving yourself time where you need it, but then following up the next day or the next week and really hitting your business hard and, you know, watering that grass and really staying consistent when you can be consistent. Because I think that's most important in the summer. Like if you're going to tell yourself, I have 1 hour today to do this business, then you need to really, really hit hard and spend that entire hour like going hard with it. So just kind of like that mindset piece, but also that action piece with it of like, keep yourself accountable. Give yourself grace when you need it. If you're someone who needs to schedule like a day to yourself because you always overload yourself, schedule that day. Don't do any Arbonne, you know, take the time that you need, but then the next day, schedule out kind of what you need to get done, make your to-do list and all of that. And kind of the other piece that I like to mention is in the summertime, I feel like a lot of people are always talking about, you know, they're budgeting a little bit tighter in the summer. I feel like if you're kind of part of the teacher community, some teachers aren't getting paid all summer and they, you know, it's hard for them to spare extra money during that time, or there's other jobs that they work a lot more hours during, you know, September through May. So there's people that'll be like, you know, not now, I don't have the money right now, but, you know, follow back up with me. Or maybe they don't even say follow up with me, but in my head and in my notebook, I write down follow up late August or follow up September. Because if you guys reached out to 40 people today and 30 of them said, I don't have any money right now, that's potentially 30 people in September or late August that might be like, oh yeah, I started working again, or oh yeah, it was a really long summer, I didn't eat the greatest, I really am interested in the nutrition, like, can we talk prices now? So don't take any of the like no's as like a hard no, unless they're obviously like, no, I'm like not interested. But a lot of people just say not now. At least I've gotten that a lot, and I did a lot last summer, and I dropped the ball and never followed up with them in September. Kind of like Carissa was saying, like you're kind of like, oh God, I think I might have lost a lot of clients or potential people because you just forget to follow up. And that kind of goes back to all the tips I share about, you know, keep a notebook, write it down. Make sure if you need to start a page that says like follow-ups in September, start that today and start writing people's names down or their Instagram names, and make sure you like follow up with them, because a not now does not mean never. So that was just kind of my tips. I had notes and I think I hit them all. So that was just my like little piece, because last summer there was for sure learning points for me. So I'm excited to see kind of how everybody does this summer. And then I think I'm passing it to Chanel.
Hi guys. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to keep. Okay, well, so technically this will be my first summer. So this is my plan. I last summer as well, I had the business, but I was the person that took a break. Took a break, meaning I had 0 QV all summer. I highly suggest do not do that. It is so hard to like get back into the groove and get going. And like, yeah, you do, like Bailey said, I would sit there and be like, well, so-and-so is doing so well. What are they doing that they're doing so well? Obviously they're not doing what I'm doing, because I'm clearly not doing anything. So like just consistency is like my biggest goal this summer. And even like, so busy, like I'm really busy right now. I'm not taking classes, but I work pretty much full time. So like for me, I get overwhelmed when I'm planning a month out. And if you know Arbonne, you know, like next week we'll be like, oh, we have a new release. So like for me, I can't plan my whole month out. For me, I do 3 days in advance. So I'm like, what do I want to post about? What am I most passionate about? A big thing that I like to post about is how can I fit Arbonne into my, like, how am I using Arbonne and what is Arbonne doing for me in my everyday life? Like, people want to see we're all humans. Like, so if you're really that busy, how are you fitting, like, how are you doing this? How are you fitting Arbonne into this? How are you using these products every day? And just like Darian and Bailey have said, like, even if you just post a picture of your fizz stick, like, you don't need to sit there and explain everything. Like, sometimes it's okay not to explain something, because it also may get people asking questions like, oh, she's constantly talking about this fizz stick, like, what is this fizz stick? So like just making sure you're being consistent. And then my like call for action, I guess, would be for summer is make a plan and stick to it for 90 days. So that's the summer. So how many how many days a week do you want to do Arbonne? For me, I'm going to do 4 to 5 days per week, depending on what my week's going to look like, what my weekend's going to look like. And then that's break it down. Like, do you only have 30 minutes one day? Okay, then maybe you should just do some reach outs that day and not worry about like posting like a detailed story, more just like a picture of me sitting in the sun drinking fizz. So just, but being consistent and following through, because so when this last month, I had a system, 90 days, I did 5 times a week. I did my reach outs and I did personal development. I'm an area manager. Like, okay, so obviously Carissa and Kylie and my uplines, they're not lying when consistency and not doing it on the days you don't want to. Yeah, it's summer, but it's also your business. So where do you want to be come 2021? For me, like, I'm getting that miserable at my job. It's becoming a non-negotiable for me to become a region before 2021. So yeah, that may look like I don't really have a summer this summer, but that's okay, because I'm gonna have every other summer and I'm gonna be relaxing. So it's like one quote that I always tell myself when I'm really not trying to work is short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. We know that if we grind now, this isn't a job we have that we need to grind for 30 more years to move up. We know that. So if we grind now, we know where we want to go. So that, and then like Bailey said, I keep a notebook. So like, yeah, for me, no isn't a no unless someone tells me, no, I'm not interested. That just means like, yeah, maybe you're uneducated right now. Like, you just don't know much and you're just saying no. But I'm just gonna, like, you're saying like, not a full no, but like not right now. I'm gonna follow up with you. So like, I had some people in May, they're like, I'm tight right now, but in July, I wanna do the 30 days of healthy living. So in my notebook, I put the last week of June, like, make sure I'm reaching out. Like, I'm always writing like follow up, like when I follow up or when I reached out. So like that day I'll put like June 16th, I reached out to so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so about the biz products. I sent the video follow up, like I write it. And then honestly, I highly suggest finding someone that's going to hold you accountable. So I do this with Bailey. Like, we send pictures or we check in. Like, I reached out to Erica, Vanessa, and like Katie today. So actually showing that person, and it also holds you accountable, because like
get someone who's ready to run with you, because how bad do you want it, and how much are you willing to do to make your dream life? And like another thing, okay, last thing I have to say is, on one of our calls we had, a girl said, like, it stuck with me so hard, like, you did not start Arbonne to give up on your dreams. You know Arbonne can give you your dreams, so you didn't start it to give up. Like, you're only giving up if you quit. So just remember, like, the numbers are okay, like, it's summer, give yourself grace, but also be consistent. So like when fall hits, you have a clientele, you can hit running, because fall is crazy. Like, I was stuck not doing anything all summer, and then all of these great things came out in the fall, and I was like, okay, like, who do I talk to? Like, so I just, consistent is key. And that's all I have. So I'm gonna pass it to Kylie.
Oh my gosh, I have so many notes from all of you guys, and I think like the biggest takeaway, it, like Chanel, like you said, like it's 90-day cycles, and it really made me think, like, kind of like what Bailey was talking about too, of just like, this is like, it's a business, you know, like it's not it's not a month by month business. That is how we measure it, but like, we're open year round, you know. It's not, it's like a yearly business. Like, it's not like, oh, like we're a ski resort, so, you know, we close down for the summer. It's like, no, like we're open all the time. And so I think that makes so much sense. And I love what you said, Bailey, because I think it's so easy to be like, well, that girl has more time than me, or like, and which is weird, because I so feel like I was stuck in that. And I think it's very disempowering when we allow ourselves to think that way, because it's simply not true. I mean, I think Chris is a great example. Like, she works full time, she has a little one, and sometimes I'm like, how is she doing all this? But I'm like, but she is. And so I know it's possible. Like, if I feel busy, if I feel overwhelmed, I'm like, I give myself a little grace, and then I say, hey, I can do this too. You know, we can all make stuff happen even when we're really busy. And so seriously, that was just so good. I love everything that you guys said, and just like Darian too, of just like, you know, you can just post a fizz, or like, you know, starting those conversations. So now, Bailey, you can stop the recording, and we will go